Hey replay viewers, I will be leaving timestamp in the description so you can jump to the part of the replay that is interesting for you the most. And here's how you can select the right timestamp for you. I will be doing with my live audience today is to review their video metadata and re-optimize it. And along with those timestamps, I will be explaining a few words about those channels, what they are about. So you can pick the channel that is closest to you, and this way you will be having a practical example what is very similar to what you are doing with your own videos. And I hope this way it will give you more clarity on the new SEO rules that in my latest video, by the way, first link in the description, I linked it up, this new SEO rules video, so that you have a more practical example of how to apply those SEO rules. So yeah, feel free to jump to the part that really interests you the most. All right, let me turn to my live audience now. I see we already have a full house, so great. Build Motivation, how you doing? Diamond, Casey, old friend, how you doing? Jean, Music Underground, Mike, Tatiana, Muliat, new to the channel, right? Welcome. And the Indigo Escape, I think you're new too, right? Glad to have you here. Soap School, my friend. Marlon, how you doing? Swill Entertainment, Death Dealer, and Artisan Electrics Cooking Channel, Tamir. Quite some few new names. I'm glad to have you on board here. This will be very interesting today. I mean, you already saw, right? In my last video last week, I explained those SEO rules that I got from the reverse engineering study that I did over the course of a whole year. Really, it was so much work. I'm finally glad to have it done. It almost felt like a never-ending project at some point. And these new SEO rules give us much more freedom to write, in particular, more creative titles. Actually, that would be very interesting for you to see here. I prepared a little bit of a helper here. Let me remove my face real quick. Now you see the whole slide. Feel free to take a screenshot, by the way, but I also shared it on Twitter and in our early access Facebook group in case you want to grab it later. To help us a little bit how to write video titles. Here are good examples, and what we want to do is to play into human desires for high click-through rate. And as you learned in this last video that I did about the SEO rules, the video title is the most important part of optimizing our videos for search to rank in search. And only the description comes second, and that's all we need to do. And this will be the thing that I will be focusing on when re-optimizing your metadata today. And because the video title is so important, I want to pay special attention there. So maybe we can peel out a little bit more than just the SEO part of it, yeah, so that your video ranks in search. Maybe we can even beyond that, because the new rules give us more freedom, beyond that, write the video titles a little bit more enticing so that your click-through rate goes up as well. As you know, the click-through rate is mainly decided by the thumbnail and the title, because that's what the people see when they scroll on YouTube, right? And when something, the thumbnail together with the title, is enticing enough, then they click and watch, and that raises your click-through rate, obviously, right? So, yeah. Glad to see quite a few. Wow, full house here. Anurag, how you doing? Dennis, Said, Tony, Hollis, Jasper, Offgrid, Andreas, Bangkok, and more. Forgot your first name. Sorry. Healthalicious, welcome to the channel. Or no, we chatted before, right? Overcoming Poverty. How you doing? New on the channel? Welcome on board. And you, how you doing? Always great to have these conversations with you in the comments. We had quite some in detail Q&A together. Listed Fit, how are you doing? Mugetsu TV, welcome on board. So, I will be doing all that with channel reviews. As you see, the pinned comment here in the live chat tells you already, I will be asking you to raise your hand once I'm ready to do the next review. We will shortly come to that. Just so that you know, I have a little bit of a tool here that helps me to track a little bit better the live stream chat comments, because it's usually overwhelming me. So a little bit of a robot helps me here to get track. So if you have an important question to me that I should answer, like everything that is related to today's topic, say at Morningfame in the chat and then ask your question. Then I have it on my screen so I can get to that. And I also already see quite some. The Indigo Escape, yes, we will do all kinds of channels today. It's always random, so I'm sure we will have vlog channels in there as well. That's my intention here. You know, the last video where I explained the rules, that was, you know, the theory or the craft behind it, yeah, to apply those rules. Today we want to have practical examples of all the different kinds of channels. So hopefully we have everything represented in here, and maybe you're one of the lucky ones to get chosen for reoptimizing the metadata. Using AudioGate. Oh. Okay, the audio is cutting out. What was it last time? Let me see. This couldn't be it. If I speak more closely, does it work better now? Let me know, Marlon. You're certainly the audio expert here. Marlon has a own studio to record music. So let's see about that. The stream health is good. I hope that improves then. Yeah, I'm always overwhelmed with the comments. Let's see. We will see about how to turn things into something searchable if it's not searchable. I'm sure of that. 2 times, it's fine now. Thanks, Diamond. All right. Audio is fine here. I see. Audio's been fine. Yeah, seems fine now. Okay, I certainly try to talk a little bit closer to the microphone so that you have the best possible quality here. So, all right. I would say, without further ado, say review in the chat. So you basically get recorded as someone who wants their metadata to be reoptimized by me. And I will pick someone randomly then. And yeah, just type review in the chat. And I see it's already coming in. Perfect. So we will do this for the next review. And then after the review, we do it again. You have again another chance to get picked. I hope to get quite a number of reviews in today. And perfect. I see a big house here. Wow. I'm actually was testing my software yesterday with a 100,000 subscriber channel with a live stream, so that it doesn't crash with the high demand of chat comments, and I actually had to implement some logic to clean up a little bit so it doesn't overwhelm the system. And I thought, like, my streams are so small, the software will never reach its limit. But I'm surprised. It's so great to have you all in here. I hope to get really the good tips for you today. All right, Joe, Capitano, Rich Boys Toy, Studio 77, Rico Swab, Old Friend, how are you doing? Tech Travel Beyond, Jukebox, Jane, Entspannter Selbstständig mit Susanne. Hi, Susanne, hi. Cornelia, Extra 1K, God, how are you doing? Great with the interview we did. Was really fun. Mike, how you doing, old friend? Chickmonks, new to the channel, right? Danny, 4C Chick, Gary, Nazifa, Jeremy, 30 Minutes Marketing. How you doing? I should know your name. Don't have it right now. Telepathics and Mary, welcome to the chat. All right, we are in the midst of choosing someone to pick as the first channel to get reviews. So these are all the persons who. Let me make it a little bit smaller so we can see everyone. Yeah, let's pick one. So let's see. Who is on? Drum roll. This was a kind of a tool I had to create to avoid people double mentioning themselves and improving their chances. So now everyone has just one vote. Danny Bly, you're the happy winner of this round. So let's get you started. I will pick one of your videos, and yeah, let me know if you let's interact a little bit. So if you are having any comments and questions about what I do for your channel, leave me at Morningfame and then tell me something. I can more easily see it then. This way we can do it a little bit interactive. So let's see real quick what your channel is about. I see it's a little bit about videography. I see. Yeah, wedding videography, camera gear for that, of course, camera equipment, wildlife photography. All right, I think we all get a good understanding of what your channel is about. So let's pick a video of yours. Let me know in case you have any preference. Let me see here. Casey, by the way, it might become a tool that I will be releasing, but it's so rough shape. I can't ever release it right now. Maybe sometime in the long run. You have lighting setup. Let's see. Photography made easy. Compression in photography. Let's see good wildlife photos. Let's do something a little bit close so I get into the groove of it all. It's kind of tough to do it for other channels rather than your own. Let's start. This video was put on Friday and did terrible. I see. Okay, maybe we can reoptimize a little bit there. Yeah, that's a good, a good opportunity to do so. All right, so you have YouTube channel lighting setup. It's obviously your search term here, or rather the gear that you're using. Of course, people are using for the gear in particular as well. Let's try YouTube. What was it? YouTube channel lighting setup. YouTube channel lighting setup. Okay, it's obviously a search term, a proper one. You have a good score here, perfect. So you're doing this right. Today we are not focusing on the third step here, which is finding a search term that has low enough competition, but rather on how you craft the metadata, then based on the search term you want to optimize for. And I see you did it perfectly. So nothing to complain here. And so let's quickly copy over what you're using. By the way, for everyone who uses Morningfame, I have turned on the new version for that. So this is this switch, it's turned on to version 2021. So this gives us the new rules that my data study uncovered. These are not the most surprising rules, but they are now very precisely understood based on reverse engineering the data, the YouTube search algorithm. So we exactly know what we really need to do in order to improve everything. So I see for this search term, you already get a very, very good score. So if you're saying that the video is not doing well, let me quickly check. You have 500 subscribers. I see. And you're okay. It's only 2 days old. So obviously it doesn't have as many views as you usually could get. You're right about a couple hundred views your videos usually get. I see. So, you're doing a great job in SEO. Yeah, and the understanding here is that SEO is something that works usually in the long run. SEO is not usually the strategy that makes your videos take off immediately after you publish the video, unless you sometimes have a lucky opportunity to focus on a search term that is less low competitive for some reason, and at the same time has a is kind of like a trend or something. So usually that is not the case. We usually more run the long game. So what your video does here is establishing itself in the search results. And let's quickly look at whether you, yes, you also ranked as the gateway video. So this is actually the goal of SEO. What we do here is optimize our videos for this search term, rank as usual, oftentimes the gateway video. That's a good sign because the gateway video is a video from a small channel that ranks among the big players. And that's really what we want to do. This way we get the most out of our SEO that we can. What is important here now, that the video also keeps ranking, is that the click-through rate is high and the average view duration is high. So of course you have to create a good video, but also with the click-through rate, you can tweak here a little bit. Yeah. So the idea here is you did everything right, but what you could do is, unless of course the search term has not enough search volume, here 61, that's a good search volume. That's probably not the case here. What you want to do here is to also drive a second strategy. Yeah, SEO will drive up your video in the years to come, hopefully when it keeps ranking, thanks to high click-through rate and average view duration. I mean, we can't influence that with metadata so much, only the click-through rate, yeah, not the average view duration. But for now, it would be great if it takes off a little bit more. So we have to work on the click-through rate. Let's have a quick look here, what we can do. You're obviously optimized for multiple search terms. My thinking here is, this is very a technical title. The title can do more. Yeah, it can speak to humans more. But here, it doesn't really speak to humans. It's kind of dry, you know? Let's quickly see how is it about this. So I don't know, this is a light, right? This is something you couldn't rank for anyway. Yeah. This is too competitive. Even the relevance score is an F. You don't have a chance to rank for that yet. So what we should do here is we take this term, yeah, and we can do it a little bit bigger and somehow put it into the description. Let me put it here right now. It should become a talking head piece. Interview makes me no time at all. It should be part of the natural language that we write here, but for now, let me just put it here. And DF Digital Studio, let's see about this one, whether we can clean up. This is Digital Studio. What is this about? Let me see. Click-through rate 4.7% at the moment. Yeah, great. I think that is not too bad actually for the kinds of videos that you have, but there is certainly room for improvement. Yes, I thought it would use the term and hope rank for it later down the line. Yeah, ranking later down the line is kind of something if you focus on a less competitive search term, the other one that you already have here. Yeah, this one you can rank right away, and we saw you already rank here, right? You are the gateway video at spot number 8, I think, if I remember correctly. And you start with that. And if the video is successful, you slowly work your way up, and then later on might rank for more and more search terms, and even very competitive ones. But you're wasting space in the title for a too competitive search term, because the title is you don't have much space, and it won't have an effect right away anyway. So what you need to do here, rather put it in the description, because once your video gets really successful, it has ranking power for other reasons, yeah, for the momentum it has. And then the description might be enough for that. So use the title rather for things that have more immediate effect, where the competition is not very high now. And we just searched for the other one here. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be a search term. Yeah, as you saw here in the search recommendations, we have maybe the Thanos Pro 2 is something that people search for, but not really the rest. Maybe DF Digital Photo, the company, right? So let's see what we have here. Well, this is an interesting case. Just DF Digital Photo, is that a small company by any chance? Shana, the click-through rate I can't see. Danny just gave me his click-through rate in the chat. That's all. I wish I could see the click-through rate from everyone. would make great analytics. Anyway, all right. Sorry, Danny. I think that goes a little bit too far comparing it to another video. We should get some other reviews in here. Let's just continue a little bit about your metadata. So DF Digital Studios seems to be very low searched. And as you can see here, when you go through these videos, oh, it is your channel name. No, it is. No. Yeah, it is a company. You see here, all the videos that rank here are small channels. And this question mark is very important. Those ranking videos get less views usually than you are used to. So ranking here would underwhelm you. Yeah. So this is also not a good search term to focus on. So the good news here is these were a little bit of an extension that is not useful anyway. So let's put in that somewhere here. And do a little bit of a better. We shouldn't just put keywords in there. Otherwise, we go into something like keyword stuffing that YouTube doesn't like. So I am showing the good light and the light from digital in the video. Both are great or something like that. Yeah, if those two are lights, I don't know exactly, but let's assume that is. You just put it in here a little bit in something human readable, so that it's good for viewers as well and also doesn't look spammy. It's a small company that sent me the light. Yeah, great. So you could, I'm testing these versus the other, and this is my review. Write something about that. You get the point. I mean, that's not complicated to do, right? So now what we did here is we cleaned up the title to have more space. Yeah. And this space we can use for freedom. We can add additional words that make it more enticing to click. Also, what I see here, that you can go down with your relevance quite a lot. Yeah. So the best YouTube channel lighting setup, for example. Yeah, something like add there. And you see we a little bit more creative. The percentage goes down, but we can go down. You see the 94% here, quite a lot. I don't know how much that is, maybe 75%, 70%. So quite a lot. We have a lot of freedom to improve click-through rate here. And for that, I prepared something. So here you see some examples about different title styles, good titles here. And what you need to do with your title in order to increase this click-through rate. So you're 4.7% currently, maybe you increase it to 6% or 7% even, may make a huge difference. Your video may rank higher in search. It may go into the YouTube recommendations because of that. So home feed more, YouTube search bar suggestions. So let's see, in which human desire do you play into here? Ownership and possession, it could be. Yeah. So what you want here is you want to invest your money right into the right light. So you don't have to buy another light. So usually if you buy cheap, you have to buy twice, right? Because it's so cheap that after some while you realize, you have to buy something better. It was not a bargain at all. So I think ownership and possession is a human desire that is important here. So let's try something about that. So you get the right possession for your money or something like that. Yeah. So let's phrase it a little bit. The best let's do it a little bit more creative. The best lighting setup your money can buy. And of course, I'm losing quite a relevance here because I only have 2 words in here. Lighting setup, the best lighting setup your money can buy. Upgrade your professional look. Something like that. Maybe something like that. You know? And now you see, I have sprinkled these words into the title and it's in here. The relevance with 70% is still a B grade. This is all you need, basically. Yeah. And this is enticing. So you're in the market to to buy a new lighting setup, and maybe you don't have much money, or at least you have enough money, but you can't buy twice. So you want to buy the right thing. So the best lighting setup your money can buy is something that speaks to this desire. Yeah, the people who are in the market, they want to buy something. That's what they want. And you address it directly. I have to say, this title became a little long, yeah? But you know, if you only read this is already enough. This addition, in case you also read that as a viewer, it doesn't hurt. It does also sound great, and maybe is a further reason to click the video, yeah? And especially we fulfilled with the missing 2 words from your target search term, that it fulfills the SEO rules. So I think that could improve that. Yeah. I hope that makes sense. All right. Oh wow, that's so simple, but so good. I'm glad that you think that way. Yeah, I think I don't have to send you this whole thing later. Feel free to make a screenshot now. Yeah. So that you have that. But since we didn't create a totally different description, I won't send you this info via email. You certainly have it now. And yeah, try out this new title. One caveat here, when you re-optimize your videos, you don't have the same effect as if you had the title right from the beginning. Because when you publish a video, your viewers, your subscribers are watching it right in the beginning, and that gives the whole video a push. If you now re-optimize the video, then your subscribers won't watch it again. Obviously, they already watched it. So that push is not existing in the same way. So the effect that title has will take longer to unfold and may or may not work. It's not the same situation as if you had the title right in the beginning when you published the video. So a little caveat here, but even it's worth a try to update your metadata here now. And even if it doesn't work, because it's really not the same situation, maybe yeah, it's a good tip for future videos that you upload. Wider new audience. That's the idea. This higher click-through rate might give you the opportunity that it will be played out in YouTube recommendations, and that's also a great way to reach new audiences. Awesome. Yeah, Danny, let me know, by the way, what you experienced in the coming days when you update that. I'll be curious to know. All right. Let us do, without further ado, ask the next person. Yeah, get the next review in. Say in the chat review, and you will be among those people from whom I pick one to re-optimize their metadata. So fingers crossed, the luck is on your side. I see quite a number of people tuning in here already. Again, let's see. Andy, how you doing? Kubo, Juan, Written Mirror, how you doing? Shana, yeah, you already had a great question here. Doug, how you doing? You're the Power Tarot. Darren, old friend, how are you doing? NA Clasher, new to the channel, welcome. The Universe Astronomy, welcome as well. I think you're new too. Sandra Sounds, how are you doing? Saluta, you know the vibes. Certainly. Avengers, I see. Andrew, how are you doing? And Adventure at Dirt. I have your name on the tongue of my... Lost it. Lost your name. Keep business. And chat, how are you doing? All right. All right. So, yeah, Muliart, let's say a review in the chat so that you are one of those that I pick. And in the meantime, let me quickly check. Written Mirror, the psychology slide, I also shared it on Twitter in case you want to check it. But here for you, quick, you can make a screenshot here. It's my first try to, bring structure into how to graph titles that really increase click-through rate. And I hope that helps. Yeah. And good question, Indigo Escape, especially for you in vlogs, when you do vlogs. If you are mostly discovered in browse suggestions, search words are not really applicable. If you are discovered in browse and suggestions, so home and up next, right? Then that's all you need, basically. You can focus on just that, yeah? If that's already working for you, then perfect, because usually YouTube search is the strategy to bootstrap the growth of a channel. But if you are beyond that point where the recommendations generally don't really work yet because you don't have a fan base yet, then it's tricky. But you're obviously already at that point. You don't need search anymore then at that point. I mean, you could use it as well, but as you see, you have to balance it. It's sometimes for search a little bit tricky to balance it. So if you don't have to, then you don't need to. That's basically the message here. There are many ways to grow a channel, and depending on your situation, one or the other is the better choice. And Mike, great question. The title doesn't have to have 100% score. As we saw here, we only have a 70% score. But with Morningfame, you can measure how low you can get. These levels that you see here, and the goal is to get at least a B grade, are different depending on the search term that you are targeting. The full force of the data knowledge that the study gave me is in place here to really give you a line how low you can get. Yeah, so you don't have to go to 100% anymore. You only have to optimize it good enough, and the rest you can use for the freedom to write a more enticing video title. And yeah, let's choose the next person to pick from. All right, I think I have to make it smaller even. It's not even possible to make it smaller. So let's pick one. Some are not visible here. The page is too big. Let's see who's next. Mike, you're next. All right, let's see if we can do a not 100% title for you. All right. Let's see here. Pam, how are you doing? And the key to happiness, how are you doing? HQ Edits, new to the channel, right? Welcome, Arun. How are you doing? And Pigeon River Farm. That's a nice name. How are you doing? Carl, how are you doing? Hugo, welcome. Digging for Life. Metal detecting. I see. A friend of Adventures in Dirt, maybe? All right. Let's see. We have Mike here. He is about grilling on the skillet, right? So that's really a detailed, deep into the hobbies channels here, right? With specific cooking, which I really like. That's really focused on something that where really a fan base can gather around. Simple home remedies, great to have you here. Always the new people. So, and let's see, which video can we use here? Black Walnut Kit, Teresa's Black Walnut. Oh, this one is an interesting one. Shall we do this one? I hope you... the Soap School strategy button. You mean this one? Strategy button? There is a strategy tab in Morningfame Analytics, by the way. But anyway, all right, let's try this one. So you certainly optimized for black walnut cake. I think that is something that people know in the field. Cake, let's see. Perfect. And yes, looks good. You have an E here, but that's no problem. You can optimize for that. All right, this is an interesting case. This is really an interesting case. Black walnut cake, yeah, is something that we have many videos here that are highly optimized. As you see, just black walnut cake, stuff like this, yeah. And this means in this particular situation, you really have to go high in order to at least get a B grade. Yeah. So what I said before, when we go to the number 4 optimize tab, you see here the lines are totally different here. They are much higher. Here on this previous search term, they were much lower. So the problem here is we actually need to create a video title that is really high optimized. We don't have much freedom. We can add a few words. Let's just look at this. 1, 2, 3 extra words, and we already are at a C grade. So you really don't have much freedom. But can we use this freedom somehow? We want to increase the click-through rate, right? So you already used, just a second, your title was this one here. Teresa's Black Walnut Cake. I don't know, is Teresa's Black Walnut Cake actually a search term that people search for? Let's see, Teresa. Oh yeah, that's actually something that people search for. And here you have, wow, you have a lot of freedom here. That's interesting. That's really interesting. You know, let's do a ninja thing. Let's optimize for both. All right, so sometimes you have a lot of freedom here. You can see here an A grade you already get with 46% only. So this is a search term that we can include in the description. Yeah. So let's go here and let's switch the search term over to this one. And you see, this one is not very highly optimized. So let's see, Black Walnut Cake. We want to optimize for that as well. Let's make sure that's in there. And here, the tastiest Black Walnut Cake is one from the famous Teresa. Let's say she is famous. I don't know. I don't know this recipe, right? So let's just assume that. And so we already have Teresa Black Walnut Cake in the cake, and this is already enough to reach a good grade. But let's do this recipe can't fail. Let me show you. Something like that. Yeah. So we have all words of the search terms included here. We have just part of it here. So that's the reason why the title only gets 30%. But then we can boost it with a description to add the additional words, and we included all of them here, as you see. Title, the tip already helped us with that. This is only optional to improve it even further from 27% to 29%. But you already see you get an A grade for that with just the not really optimal optimization here. It's already more than enough to have enough relevance to get a good chance to rank. So we don't, that's why the tip says it's optional. And this way we optimize this search term for this one here, optimize your video for this one well. And at the same time, when we switch back here, we also optimized it well for Black Walnut Cake. Here in this case, it's just that. But we want to make the video title a little bit more enticing as well. And we found out we can add 2 words here. So let's say this is speaking to the emotions. Let's have a look here. What kind of human desire can we speak to here? It's a tasty cake. It tastes good. Maybe empowerment of creativity and feedback. That means that you find new ways to improve your skill that allow you to cook, with your skillet in this case, in a more creative way, so upgrade your experience for your cooking, so to say. So this could be enticing in this way. So let's see how we can do this. Black with 2 words, that's actually quite difficult. Unfortunately, we don't have much freedom here. With 2 words. Is kind of a technique that you might teach in there. Ideally, you would create the video after we optimize that, because I don't know what you actually show here, right? So let's just assume you could redo the video a little bit to give me a little bit more freedom here, I hope. So black walnut cake to improve the skills, what could it be? Any ideas, by the way, in the chat? Example. Did I misspell some word? I think that's usually not what we want to do, Nazifa. Level up. So, with 2 words, that is really tricky. Perfection, something, make delition. Easy perfection, something like that. Oh, this one is counted as a word. I analyzed quite a lot of special characters, and some of them behave different than other special characters. So I'm using this one instead. Easy perfection. Maybe something like that. I mean, perfection, I like this. Tasty, delicious, mouth-watery. Yes. It's in a skillet. Yes, it's in a skillet. This perfection talks to, we could talk to the senses, a mouth-watery. Stuff like this would be good words for that as well. What I was trying here is to have speaking to the skill set. So someone wants to get better at their hobby, their skill, the skillet cooking. And this perfection could a little bit speak to that, because they want to, if you learn a craft like this, if you want to cook, how often do you create a dish that is not really up to what you usually expect? And if you can create easy perfection, kind of like this, I don't know. I don't know too well, It's kind of something that you have to figure out over time what really speaks to them. But the idea here is kind of, there is a hobbyist and they want to get better at their skillet cooking, and somehow add words that signal to them, when you watch this video, you get better at what you do here. It's something to think about. Does that help, Mike? I hope it does. Again, that's not much we wrote here, so feel free to do a screenshot now. I see I already removed my face, so I can do a screenshot. All right. Perfectly easy. Perfectly easy would be an alternative. Dig in for life. It's a good idea as well. Perfectly easy. Easy perfection. Perfectly easy. It's kind of, you can play it around with that. It's all about what the viewer things when they read it. Yeah, if that speaks to them, it's really a high craft, which has to be practiced in the end. Mike, I hope that helped a little bit. Let's, without further ado, let's do the next review. Leave me a review in the chat and I will pick one of you randomly shortly. So let's look at the question. Again, when you have a question, the best way to reach me is saying @morningfame something in the chat. This way I have a good filter here and can stay on top of it. Simple Home Remedies, how are you doing? Mr. Slinker, quite a few new names. NASA CNAP, how are you doing? The Frenchies, funny dogs, right? Side of Burritos, another, no, is it cooking or is it dog channel? Liquid channel, Jazz Doctor and Steven, Next Level Mindset. Welcome on board. All right, I see the reviews are coming in, perfect. And in the meantime, let's hope we have some drawing and painting channels in here as well then shortly. Let's go through all those. Hopefully kind of good selection of different channels. I have a question. Does the video category have any bearing on the video? If you pick entertainment and education, travel and events? Yeah, great question. No, it does not. This is kind of an old thing that's barely used. I mean, tools use it, so pick the right category for your that fits best for your videos. But YouTube doesn't care about that anymore. They have much more advanced ways to analyze where to put their videos, what to recommend to other videos and so on. All right, Tatiana, the way I decide to which videos to get reoptimized, so the reviews here, is I have a little tool to track who says reviews in the chat, and then I pick someone randomly. Let's do that right now. Let me quickly update. All right, and now let's pick someone. The time of day you post your videos does not really matter so much. It's really a smaller thing. It's not relevant for shorts at all. It may be a little bit relevant for regular videos, and it's particularly relevant for live streams because you want to have the most people in the live stream as you can. So you should go live for a specific time that most people are awake, right? That's basically the thinking behind it. Pam, it's your turn. So this is a kind of arts and craft or Etsy shopping. Let's see what your channel was mostly about. Selling arts and craft, I think, right? So let's test that. While it's loading, let me see. And Mike, it is a good idea to reoptimize your old videos, especially those that you back then didn't optimize well because you didn't know SEO too well at that point, for example. Then it's a particular good idea when you think this is a topic that is really worth watching today. Start with those videos first and re-optimize a few. Again, a little caveat, if you re-optimize a video, then you don't have the push of the viewers of your active subscribers like a new video has when it publishes that, when you publish that. So that means when you re-optimize a video, the effects of your new video title or stuff like this, it doesn't kick in right now and may not kick in. So it is worth. Many people told me already that they saw crazy good developments on their channels based on that. So give it a try, but don't expect each and every video work perfectly there. It's a different situation than when you're optimizing for new videos that you have not published yet. All right. All right, so here we go. Pam's channel. She is creating felt animals, right? Herself and selling them, and then shipping them on Etsy. So it's a bit of a how-to channel for that. Yeah. And let's see, what video could we create here? So you have no tags. Perfect. Tags don't do anything, so you don't really need them. Title and description is important. Let's see. Etsy did what prior to support to Star Seller? Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. You already create an enticing video title here. This kind of unfairness or something like that you lead to. Yeah. It's quite a good one. So I think I can't really categorize that yet. This new structure that I created here is quite new, and I don't know how that really fits in there. It's certainly on the emotional side, less on the logical side. So it's probably a little bit relatedness. That's the reason why it speaks to people, because basically what you are telling here is that the group of Etsy sellers belong together, right? We are all part of the same group. We are friends, so to say, yeah, those people in the group. And if someone, in this case Etsy, does something bad to the group, then the reason that speaks to you is like, we as a group, we belong together, social relatedness. We're not happy with what is happening there. And it can go as far as we all start a revolution, kind of, going to the streets and fighting for our rights to have more fair Etsy rules. Of course, Etsy is all virtual. You won't go to the streets and demonstrate there, right? But this is kind of the human desire that plays into that. And of course, at the same time, you kind of speak to loss and avoidance. So we need business, yeah, on Etsy. This is for many people the livelihood. So we don't want to lose this business. And if Etsy does something bad here, then this livelihood could be at risk. So we want to avoid that. Yeah. Of course, be careful here. Yeah. This is black hat. So we are tapping into human desires that are negative here. So if you do stuff like this, yeah, tell them there's something bad happening, then it's super important that it's really worth mentioning. Yeah. Otherwise, it can go into clickbait. If you basically talk about a nothing burger, something that is just bloated emotions that are not real. But I'm sure you're a real person. Yeah, you don't do such stuff. That seems to be something going on for sure. So then it's okay to drive it with negative emotions, because sometimes it's really important to tell people about something so that they really can avoid it, because it's truly risking their livelihood or something like that. It's important, and we should peel that out in the video title. You really did this well here with this title. I wonder, Pam, can you say a little bit about what search term you optimized here for? Etsy star seller maybe, right? Let's quickly check that. Etsy star seller. Because the idea here is, when you are optimizing, and the video title is the most central piece for that, then we want to go into the search in YouTube search and rank our videos, get views from there. But at the same time, we have the high click-through rate. that that is good for the YouTube recommendations. So we get promoted our videos from many different sources. The three major YouTube algorithms: search, home, suggested. And when we do the title right, we can get all the three algorithms working in our favor. And what I see here is that it is very possible to rank here, although that's probably a search term that doesn't have much search volume here. But anyway, Etsy Star Seller is a good one. And then let's see your actual title. Ooh, Pam, why do you do that? You fully destroyed your SEO. So let's see if we can have all three together actually. So let me quickly copy over the description here. So we have the full metadata that you're actually using in your video. And let's see if we can get it up to a B grade again. But again, have this enticing video title that really talks to human desires here. That gives them, these human desires, by the way, are there to explain people you should click now. Yeah, because you have a desire to watch this. There's this desire that will be fulfilled with the video. So they click now rather than watch it later. That's what we want. Hi Scott, how are you doing? Quite funny here, right? But I know sometimes, by the way, Pam, I know you know SEO really well. Yeah, I mean, we have a long history. I think I know you for years already, and the problem here is we want to get into the YouTube recommendations, right? And for that reason, we need titles like these. But usually these titles didn't give us much room anymore to have SEO in there. But with the new rules that I discovered, it now for the first time actually becomes possible to have both at the same time. I hope I can show you this in a practical example here. And by the way, I talk about that in my next regularly uploaded video in detail, what I really mean here. It's really changing the game of how do we do YouTube SEO. It's finally what I really teased for many videos in the past months or so. Finally explaining what I really mean there. Anyway, so let's see. So we have Etsy Star Seller. Etsy did what? Star sellers. Aha. Okay. Here's one thing. You have not the word star seller in here. And that is bringing you down. Because you have plural. This is really a simple mistake. Then again, it could be the case that YouTube sees a singular and plural at the same as the same. Let's see if you are ranking here. Let's see. Star seller for them. Obviously, Etsy is kind of doing quite a lot. Yeah, you're not ranking there. So it could be the case that this makes a difference. Yeah, be better on the safe side. So it was as simple as that. You have to make sure that the words of the search term are exactly in there. And you added quite a few words here that make it enticing to click, yeah, as I just explained. Yeah, we are done. That's all. Yeah. Of course, the video is a little bit. I wonder. It's 18 days ago. It could be good. Okay. It could be the case that YouTube was actually seeing sellers and seller as the same word, and that was actually not a mistake on your side. But Morningfame is on the safe side. We can't for sure say all the time whether YouTube is, has the language understanding to see that as the same. So it does check it verbatim. Yeah, so sellers is a different word for Morningfame. It might or might not be a different word for YouTube. So the reason that your video does not rank right now, it's already 18 days old. It could be that it ranked in the beginning, in the first few days, but then stopped ranking because unfortunately the average view duration, for example, is not good enough. And then it lost ranks over time. That could explain it, why we don't see it ranking right now after close to 3 weeks old. And of course, when I changed that to singular, this star seller, for example, yeah. So we are talking about a very specific star seller that had like this bad story happening to them, something like that. So mold it a little bit so the singular makes more sense again, and then we are here. I would say in this case, probably it's rather the situation that it stopped ranking because of the low average view duration, and changing your title won't have a big effect here. But the next time you optimize your videos, better be on the safe side and use the words from the search term exactly as they are, and don't use variations of the words according to whatever grammar we think about. Or star seller priority support. Yeah, we can. Yeah, it's a star seller priority support. Telegraphics is an idea. Yeah, to say that. So you're just saying star seller priority support. But this is a little bit dull, I have to say. It doesn't really speak to people anymore. Yeah, something like that maybe. Get the idea? Something kind of like, you have to signal the drama that is going on here. I mean, I'm not the master in video titles here, but the idea is, of course, Etsy is telling us they do good star seller support, and what they just did here is underwhelming at best. They really don't live up to our expectations or something like that. Like this ingrained into the video title here. So this is the important part, that it's really speaking to people so that they feel these human desires. Like there is actual loss that they, or something that they really have to avoid, because they still need the good support. But what did the person maybe do wrong in order to not get good support? To really make it emotional, because there's unfairness happening to the star seller community. Stuff like this. There's this relatedness aspect, yeah, human desire here. So this is important to ingrain that into the video titles. All right. I hope that helped a little bit. Pam, let's do without further ado. Let me know in the chat, say review, and I will pick one of you for the next metadata I will be re-optimizing. In the meantime, do you have any questions? When you have questions that you want me to answer, the best way is you write at Morningfame and then your question. This way I get it on my second screen, and because I always lose track of the full chat. But let's see in the meantime. T-Dunk, how you doing? Weighing to optimize. You're looking for ways to optimize your channel, right? So yeah, perfect. Here. That's what we do here. Actually, what I'm using here, these rules that I'm using here, are explained in a concise manner in the first link in the description. So you can catch up there really everything you need to know in order to optimize your YouTube metadata. That should be a good starting point for you. Sura, how you doing? FinTuber, how you doing? Finances, by the way, is something that oftentimes goes quite a lot into the ownership and possession niche. You see, I have a top 5 investments, so investment example here. And yeah, maybe that helps a little bit. Eat, sleep, how you doing? Furry and the Fury, how you doing? Great to see you here again. Handmade Mania, craftsmanship. Craftsmanship goes into empowerment of creativity and feedback quite a lot. So your titles are oftentimes, I bet, in this realm. And Whisky aus der Sicht eines Amerikaners. Hi, long time no see, Jason. Great to see you once again. All right. Let's see. So, let's get the channels here. Browser, here we go. Let me quickly refresh that. Maybe someone else asked. Okay. These are the persons I choose from. And let's see. Who's the next one? Muli Art Paintings channel category. The video category is not so important. Depends on what you are doing. Education, you could, if you do really painting education. But if it's more, relaxing while you watch stuff, then it's, I forgot the different. Choose whatever fits best. It's not too important. All right, the Furry and the Fury. It's your turn. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's see. While that is loading, any other questions? Elizabeth, yeah, great to have you here. I'm now living in Germany, so no, I don't think. At first glance, I thought you were German too. So I'm going live at a different time zone now, which might have helped. Okay. So Furry and the Fury. Let's quickly. Soap School, at what subscriber size do you feel we should start using Morningfame? Any size. I really focus on the small channels as well. What is a little bit tricky in the beginning is really to make use of SEO when you are below 100 subscribers. A little bit tricky. I can help there as well. I have, if you have difficulties with finding the right search terms, let's do this. When you are here, you're looking for, here we had a perfect example. No, that was the example. Search history, this one. You're looking for grades like these. As a small channel, it's difficult to get those because you really are small yet. But then click this link here, and there you find many techniques that make it work. It really makes it work, especially the last technique. So you can start anytime, but if you want to have more tips about that, in the beginning you also have to do promotion in different ways. So there is a video about getting your first 100 subscribers on your channel, which I can recommend in this case. So, okay. Here we go. The Furry and the Fury. So it's obviously about dogs and cats, right? Yeah, you're a cat trainer, right? If I remember correctly. So why is my dog eating cat's poop? That's a good question. By the way, that's already going into the direction of something like problem solving. this is when you are talking about these human desires, then it's development and accomplishment in a sense. Yeah, you have a challenge here. It's a negative challenge in this case. Your dog is misbehaving, so to say, and you don't want that, and you have to solve a challenge, and the video helps you with that. So that's quite interesting to see. So I guess everyone has a good understanding what his channel is about, right? So let's see which video we could reoptimize. Why is my cat eating grass? Okay, this is why does my dog eat grass? Interesting, yeah. I know more about cats because I own a cat. So let's do a cat video, right? Why is my dog eating grass? Which search term did you optimize that for? Let me know in the chat along with @morningfame so I can more easily see that. Ah, you are a veterinarian, right. You have, I bet, quite a number of problem-solving skills here. I don't know how veterinarians actually handle my cat. It's kind of a crazy cat. So I'm glad they can, they have their techniques. Why is my cat eating grass? Is that a search term? Why is my cat eating grass? This is actually a search term. Interesting. I see. All right. By the way, little secret. I didn't share that until now, but the second video after this one, I will explain it more in detail. You can, as a small channel, and you see here his channel is 63 subscribers. It's tricky there. As a small channel, you can optimize for search terms where you get E grades. The recommendation is DDD-B grades, as you know, here, the footnote. But as a small channel, it's sometimes tricky to find the right search terms. Use this link to learn more about how to find the right search terms. But you can, if you have no F grades in there, only E grades, yeah? And the relevance grade is a green one, so B or A, then you still can go for it. That's a new part of the new feature release that I did. I did a lot of data crunching and I found out it's actually possible, yeah? For small channels, that's important to beat the competition by highly optimized videos, yeah? So it's not only the channel size that plays a role, but also the relevance can beat competition. So here we have the case that we can do a highly optimized video and beat quite a big competition. I mean, you already see that here. His channel has 63 subscribers, which is dwarfed by the average close to 7,000 subscribers, right? So the competition is quite high in the search results. These videos that rank here, I mean, 42,000 subscribers, 4,000 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, much bigger. But the relevance can make it up here. So if you have no F grades, but a green grade for relevance, continue. Don't, you can still use it. So usually, however, this comes with a caveat that you don't have much freedom here, but in this case, we still have a lot of freedom. So what can we do here? Yeah. Jomotech, how are you doing? Greetings to Portugal. What can we do here in order to improve this? You know, the point is here, and that's the tricky part. That's usually the case for pure SEO titles. It kind of is boring to read. Yeah, you can get more out of it for a higher click-through rate. That's also what the title says. Write a creative title, and that's all we are discussing today. Yeah, if I remember correctly, why is my cat eating grass? Yeah, you just used the search term. Yeah. So why is my cat? I see. I see you used the alphabet method. Great, great, great. Um, so you really know your craft. Perfect. The interesting part is here, how can we make it more enticing and not just descriptive? You know, why should you watch it? I mean, when you own a cat, you might not know the answer to the question. And you might be in the mood right now to watch it. But you either know the answer already or some answer. Yeah. I mean, this is something that could have many answers. Yeah. Why they do this. Yeah. I'm sure it's not only to help their digestion, but also when they are bored or whatever. Yeah. I don't know. There are many answers. This is a problem with SEO titles oftentimes. And we have to fix that. Thanks to the new rules, it's really possible. You give away too much and you don't leave anything open. Yeah. So to wonder about, think about a little bit like a surprise package. There are mystery boxes that you can buy on Amazon, for example. They play into this human desire of unpredictability and curiosity. Here, this is this example. Touring a $2,000 luxury motorhome with a secret supercar garage. Yeah, I made the thumbnail only small because you can imagine what is displayed there, just this fancy luxury motorhome. You know, if you are not rich, and I think 99% of us are not rich, right? As we know, you don't own that luxury motorhome and you will never own such a luxury motorhome, right? So the only way to get to know how those rich people do their vacations is to watch this video. So it's kind of, you're curious to know, how does it look like in there? Is it similar to a private jet maybe, or something different? You want to know. It's a curiosity. And this curiosity usually is completely missing in SEO titles, usually. Yeah. And that's also this kind of, what should I be curious about other than finding the answer? If I know any answer, even if it's a wrong answer, another answer that you will give in the video, people will say like, I know that. And they scroll past your video. Yeah. And that reduces your click-through rate because people can decide whether, do I know this? Yes, no, let me watch it, or let me not watch it. They can decide against watching your video. And that is bad. You need to draw curiosity in some sense so that people can say like, yeah, well, generally I know that somehow helps their digestion to eat grass, right? But at the same time, there's maybe something else in the video that I didn't think about. Let me watch that. Can we somehow include that? Yeah, some secret there. So that people, it kind of open-ended, that people can't decide against watching the video. So let's rephrase that. Okay, why is my ad my cat is eating too much grass. I don't know. Could it be a bad sign? I mean, you are a veterinarian, right? Of course, you must not oversell this. Yeah. But if they are eating too much grass, it might hint towards they are sick, maybe. I know that cats hide their pain and sickness away. That's in their nature. So as a cat owner, you sometimes don't even see that they are hurting. Yeah. So maybe this could be a bad sign. And if that's really the case, don't oversell that. It should be not be clickbait. It should be legit kind of a warning in a case that you have to act as a cat owner and maybe go to the doctor, something like that. So this is a worry. My cat is eating too much grass. Yeah. So maybe it's not too much, but the viewer who owns the cat feels that they are eating too much grass. So certainly explain in the video how much is an okay amount, and you don't have to worry about that. But if it's too much, is that a bad sign? Yeah, it's kind of then answering that, which plays into the first of all, loss and avoidance. Yeah, you want to avoid that the cat is getting sick or not getting a proper treatment early enough because you don't find out. Yeah, something like that, and then mainly that. So because it's black hat, so it's you're playing with dangers, so to say. You have to be careful that you don't oversell. So there should be a real risk in there, and not just something overstated, something like that. Too much is a bad sign. Some grass is normal. Perfect. So it would actually be a legit title here. Let me know how much grass is actually an okay amount. Now I want to know. I own a cat. But I don't think my cat is eating too much. Just sometimes. I leave a little bit on the lawn uncut for him. So this is this thing. Eat, Sleep, Yoga. Great idea, by the way. You're just suggesting the title for that. Eating grass, your cat is in danger. Yeah, this also plays into avoidance desire, the human desire to avoid negative outcomes. Yeah, but the problem here is when you do this, eating grass, your cat is in danger. This is what you suggested. This is not good for SEO anymore because eating grass, cat is in danger. Oh, interesting. You already designed it in a quite okay way because 4 out of those 6 words are in there. Cat is cat, and eating grass. So only why my is missing. Let me see is when your cat is sick. This is why my cat I have to think about something that is more natural, right? But basically you have these words in there. My cat eating grass. Interesting. See that? We were able, since the video title was not fully optimized, move some of those words into the description. And luckily, we have enough freedom here. The B line is very low at 50% or something like that. Yeah, we can do the description boost on top of the really badly optimized title, only 30%. And that is still enough to rank with a good chance for this search term. So we have a shorter title now. And SEO-wise, we still have enough ranking power. SEO power. The SEO score is high enough. So this would be an option as well. And it would be more punchy. You remember my previous title was quite long. And we should keep it short to an extent. So you can play around here and use this option to write titles that really catch your attention, make you want to click it, and at the same time it's quick, you know. Basically the process is you scroll through your feed, for example, on home, and the thumbnail looks interesting, so you stop scrolling, and then next, let me know in the comments, are you the same? You look the thumbnail first, and if this catches your attention, you read the title next, before you click. I think I always read the title next. Unless, of course, that's a cute animal and I want just to watch cute animals, then maybe sometimes I don't read the title. Maybe even then I read it. So the title is immensely important. So this process, first the thumbnail, then the title, to convince people to click. And that's why the title is so important, to raise the click-through rate, which again is so important to get into YouTube recommendations, that is browse/home and suggested videos. Thank you. Furry and Fury. The cat shouldn't throw up. Yeah, that makes sense. I will pay attention to that. Shana, yeah, great. This is really a good thing that when I'm actually this description boost, if you want to learn it in detail, this is something that I explained in the first link in the description. There I did a 15-minute tutorial where I explain all the rules, including this boost, which is something that we can go when the B grade here is quite low. That's not the case for all search terms, but here it is. Then you can use the description as additional place to optimize your video, and then you have more freedom in the title. Yeah, we only had to include less words, and this way we had more space to write something that speaks to the human. Hi Danielle, how are you doing? Jomotech, how are you doing? And yeah, I hope that helps a bit. Fiery and Fury, I think, do I still have? Yeah, this was the last title I had. So feel free to make a screenshot now. And this is the new one that we got recommended by Eat Sleep Yangon. Thanks for that. So yeah, a little bit of choice for you. I hope that helped. And without further ado, let me know in the chat review, and I will pick one of you to do the next reoptimize the next video. All right. Any questions in the meantime? My cat keeps trying to eat my slippers. Yeah, cats can be crazy sometimes, right? Is human voice required for videos? That's an interesting question. You know, it depends on how the viewer experience is, you know? It really, what do the viewers want? That is important first and foremost. The interesting part is here, you might have heard for YouTube SEO, you also can optimize your closed captions, the subtitles. So what you speak in the video goes into the subtitles automatically. Of course, YouTube generates them for us. And that is also analyzed by YouTube search in order to rank your videos. What I found out in the study, the subtitles are not very strong in how much they influence your SEO score, so to say. It seems to be a little less than the description, and the description is already quite weak. You can only use it in some circumstances, like you just saw in the last example. It's not always the case. So since we already have the description to do something extra in some scenarios, you don't have to do it with the subtitles anymore. Yeah. So whether you have subtitles or not doesn't matter. even if you do have subtitles, you don't have to worry about saying specific words in your video so that it goes into the subtitles like your search terms, because you don't really need it. Yeah, SEO doesn't work like cram your search terms everywhere you can, like title, description, tags, in the comments, in the subtitles, everywhere you can. It doesn't help you to rank higher or something. You only need it once. And the title and the description is the best place you can tinker with and influence the easiest in order to get your SEO score high. So forget about the subtitles. You don't need them for SEO. So the only question that remains is whether you want to have voice for your viewer experience. Is it more fun to watch your videos when someone talks, maybe a voiceover at least, or not? Yeah. Especially when you do Let's Plays in gaming, for example. I can't watch Let's Plays where someone is just playing the game and doesn't talk at the same time. I want at least someone to talk, so that's more engaging to watch. But it depends, if it's slideshows with DIY crafts, DIY craft ideas, it might be engaging enough already. Yeah, or memes compilation or something like that. Anyway, so I hope that answered it a little bit. Let's see the channels that we have here today. The Artist Haven, how you doing? Optimizing your live streams. So that's actually a good question. Let me talk a little bit about that. Here, let's pick a winner in the meantime, drum roll. And when you look at my live stream right now, I didn't optimize it for search. I was a little bit too lazy, quite frankly. Handmade Mania, it's your turn. Let me quickly load up your channel so that we can start re-optimizing one of your videos. But I sometimes do optimize my live streams. It depends whether this is something I think has also a lot of replay value, so it can rank for a long time to come. But the interesting part is, if you talk about a very common topic, then the live stream will start ranking when you schedule it 2 days or more into advance, you say. That's more than enough. So a few hours before the live stream is the scheduled start of the live stream, it start ranking higher and higher for the search term you optimized for. You optimize your video the same way, your live stream the same way as a regular video. And you may even optimize for more competitive search terms. I didn't study that in detail yet, but it's kind of my personal experience so far. And this way you can get a few more people to your live audience during a live stream via search, and especially while you're live, the live stream is ranking the highest. Yeah, so obviously YouTube wants to promote it via search as well. So it makes a lot of sense to search for to optimize it as well. I sometimes decide, it depends what purpose your live streams is. This one, for example, I decided don't worry about YouTube search because it's more for my core audience. Service for them, right? The reviews is for you who are for some time on my channel already, and I want to give you a little extra on top of the tutorials. So I'm not eager to catch too much new viewers here, although that happens too, of course, and it's always great. But depending on how you want to play it, live streams are oftentimes more for the active audience. All right, I hope that makes sense. Let's see. So Handmade Mania. We have 650 subscribers. Awesome. So on the verge of being able to trigger the recommendations as well. And Handmade. Line art. It's a German channel, I see. Willkommen. Mm. And yeah, this ring you're doing here, DIY, was heißt Schmuck auf Englisch? I don't have the English word. Anyway, Binder, Schablonen, Acrylgemälde, so paintings, earrings, something like fridge magnets, all that kind of stuff. So DIY for all the little things that make your life more colorful. Awesome. So let's see your videos. It's a little bit tricky because you're German and most of my audience can't speak German. Let me optimize this video for the English speaking world in this case. So I will translate it and then take it from there. I hope that's okay for you. It will still be a good learning experience for you, even though you probably might not be able to translate it back and then actually use it for your video. So let's see. Here are DIY stamps. Wow, these are complicated German words. I don't even know what they are in German. Okay, Kerzen auf Englisch? Candles. Okay, create candles out of paper and other materials. Let's do this one. So you optimize it for making candles tutorial. Kerzen gießen. Let me see. Kerzen gießen. Pour candles. Okay. All right, let's try this one. Pour candles. Pour candles. All right. Interesting. Okay. You're quite a small channel, but luckily, yeah, we have a search term here that gives you a good grade. And even that's a special situation. You have no F grades. I said it before once. You have no F grades. Usually you're looking for DDD-B grades, but you have no F grades and still get a B grade. So this is something that you now with the new version can or also target. The only different disadvantage here is that you don't have a lot of freedom anymore. That's usually the case. When the competition is too high, yeah, here with E grades, then you see that these lines here are quite at the top. So in order for you to rank here, you have to write a title that's pretty much fully optimized. When we are adding words here, which will reduce the relevance, one word is already is still good. 2 words is also okay, but 3 words is not okay. You don't have much freedom here to add anything extra that wins you the click, you know. This is tricky. So when you want to create a video title that has more freedom so that you can add more words here, do them in a more creative way, that you really create titles that have more punch so that people click them for different reasons that I talk about here in the stream all the time, then you should look for less competitive search terms. Usually they have more freedom than there. You just said pouring candles. Let's see if that is also a search term that is better. At least we can go up to an A now here. Yeah. So perfect. A little bit of a change. That's the Theodorus method maybe, or just a simple grammar change that oftentimes leads to search terms that are less competitive. And now you see you have more freedom to have a lower relevance score, SEO score. And this means that in particular, we can now add quite a number of words. Perfect. We can even put words in front, no problem. We can put words in the middle. Yes, we have ultimate freedom here. All right, now we can get creative in this title. Pouring candles, it's easy to, it's luckily a short search term, so it doesn't use up much space. We can do everything with the title here. We don't need a description. Let's see. Which kind of human desire can we tap into here? So this is DIY, so empowerment of creativity. This is probably usually the way to go for DIY channels. Development and accomplishments. Let me see. Your look really nice. You're talking about, these different kinds of candles that you create with different techniques. All right. I would say okay. We have two angles that we can take here. I just remembered Pam with her Etsy shop and all that, right? I mean, it could be that you're selling those candles on Etsy. Yeah, I don't know if you really do that, but let's assume you do. Yeah, we are digressing anyway a little bit since we don't optimize for German here, but let's keep to the learning experience. Let's say you sell on Etsy, then you can tap into relatedness. Yeah, and relatedness means you're one of many sellers on Etsy. Yeah. I remember from Pam, star sellers is a high level of sellers. Star sellers on Etsy are pouring candles like this. Yeah? What you do here is, if your target audience, this is the precondition here. I don't know if that's the case for you. Let me know. You're using different molds. I don't sell on Etsy, but that's okay. Okay, all right. Anyway, let's just this brain experiment. Assuming your target audience are other Etsy sellers who do their crafts and sell that as well. They want to get successful to sell their stuff. Yeah, of course, with hobbyists, it's a different story. So you need to know your audience. Who are they? And the best way to find out is, of course, chatting in the comments, asking them questions back. And little by little, you get to know your audience. If they also sell their candles on, or any crafts that you do, I know you don't only do candles, other stuff as well, earrings and stuff, then they want to be successful. So they want to know how they have to create their products in order to sell better. Yeah? And that's what it's tapping into here. This relatedness. I am part of the group of people who are selling on Etsy, and among this group, these are the most successful. So let me learn from them. This is the human desire that is behind there. And this title is signaling that. But keep in mind, it only works if you actually have as your main target audience your sellers. Yeah, then that works. Yeah, and also, of course, as you see here, star sellers, Etsy, you're at the same time optimizing for different search terms as well. Yeah, so a star sellers Etsy. Star seller Etsy. Okay, we have, you can't rank here, even though E grades and a C for relevance, that's not an exception where you can optimize for. But let's assume here star seller Etsy. Let's do the singular just for, it's not enough. Yeah, but you would have the opportunity to optimize for different search terms as well. What would be really ingenious, because you're drawing in those that who are like to pour candles, and you're drawing in the sellers on Etsy. Yeah, so you're attracting two types of audiences here. But anyway, so what you can also do here, if obviously you just said your target audience, your viewers are hobbyists, yeah, you just like the crafts. In that case, the direction you would go is empowerment of creativity and feedback. Yeah, they want to become better at their hobby, pour nicer candles, right? You can say, like, if these are the hobbyists, these candles I'm stuck with the grammar. The grammar doesn't check out with my idea. Anyway, these candles then done. Pouring your candles creates a color explosion. You get the idea? Yeah. Candles pouring is in there. Yeah. It's reversed and words are in the middle, but with the new rules, we are still at a good SEO score. That's more than enough. But pouring candles like this creates a color explosion. It is maybe for hobbyists the case that they want the most colorful candles they can get. But sometimes they might look a little bit dull in their colors, and you probably add some glitter to it or something like that, yeah? So that it's really a color explosion. And this is signaling that to them. So basically, this color explosion part, yeah, and pouring like this, yeah, technique and result, yeah. Technique is pouring in a certain way, and result, color explosion, is speaking to empowerment of creativity and feedback. Feedback means here a little bit, in case you are interested, read this blog. Blog article. This is actually designed for something different, for creating games, computer games. Anyway, feedback is kind of like doing something and then getting the feedback that something works better now for you. Yeah, this is what is meant with feedback here, and this empowerment, that they learn a new technique that gets them to a point where they just create nicer candles. This is embodied here, and that's what you signal with your title. Yeah, that's the idea. Well, so we have a different style of title that speaks to a different kind of target audience. Not like before, those who sell their candles on Etsy or any other shop for that matter, but instead the hobbyists that just want to create the nicest candles possible, especially now for Christmas, when they want to gift them to their friends and family. Best temperature for pouring candles. Yeah, that's also a good idea. That's simple. You know what? Great idea, Soap School. And Soap School. You are about soaps, right? If I remember correctly. This is a good one, but not the best one. It is really, thank you for mentioning this idea. Best temperature for pouring candles. That's tricky. You have the best temperature here, it's empowerment, but only if they don't know the best temperature yet. Only then. This is the problem sometimes. You explain too much here. When you scroll past this video and see this title, you can say like, do I know this already? Yeah? Or do I not know this? And if you know kind of, yeah, I always use this and that Celsius or Fahrenheit, yeah? Then you say like, well, let me watch something else. I want to watch something more for fun. I don't want to sit through a video where I most likely already know the answer to. Yeah? So you give them a chance to decide not to click your video because of the way you phrased your title. And this is bad for your click-through rate, obviously. But here, if you change it back to this here, if they know how to create a color explosion already, in the chance that they know, they certainly don't know all the different ways that you could create a color explosion. Yeah? Maybe there's a completely different technique that you didn't know before. So you click and watch because you're curious to find out. You give enough, you give, with your title, you give away enough that people are curious, but you also give away little enough that they don't precisely know whether this is a video they should watch or not. Yeah? This is what you really did with the other title here. You gave away too much. Yeah? Because they think like, well, that's maybe an answer that I already know. So sorry to say that I like this better. This was something for the last year. I'm talking to many different experts. Everyone here in the German community, Michaela Engelshove, for example, great girl. She knows her stuff so well. Benjamin Bär as well. Julian Lange. Anyway, I talked to them about video titles so much. Really to death, I talked to them about that. And I didn't know about, this was really a revelation for me. This idea of, do my titles give away too much? But then again, there is this really ugly clickbait out there where you just say like, you won't believe what, famous person X, fill in the blank here, did. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, I might know this person. Yeah, so maybe it's interesting me because I'm interested in that person. But what did this person do? It could be anything. Is it really so unbelievable? Like, they are really clickbaiting me. This is giving away way too little. You have to hide a little bit, yeah, like the previous title. But you must not hide everything. You have to explain enough so that people, they like, yeah, I'm interested in it, yeah. At least I want to know, did after this law was passed, let's say it's something political, yeah? So maybe it's kind of more relevant because there's an important law, labor law or something like that. And this is kind of, everyone knows this person's anti-labor laws or something like that, yeah? Let's imagine that. Then you at least have a little bit of context. And then you can say like, do I want to watch a rant about stuff like this? Yes or no? Yeah. But there's crazy clickbait out there. People have understood they don't have to must not explain too much. But then they go overboard and do it like I'm not stupid. I'm not watching a video where they just tell me I should be interested in that for no reason that they give me. Anyway, rant over. All right. Without further ado, I hope this helped as feedback. Leave me more review in the chat so I can pick the next person to optimize the next video for. All right. Let's see. Yeah, are there some question? Let me check there. Okay, all healthy. All right, it's coming in. Perfect. And in the meantime, some question. By the way, Soap School, I'm planning to do a whole series about video titles, explaining all the different what I have there in the chart here. You know, this thing here. This is my first draft that I developed in the last day. I don't know how effective it is yet. I'm not sure where to put every and all the titles still at this moment. You didn't see that. I mean this one. But I'm developing this further and creating recipes for video titles, so to say. So, and that will certainly go into a video series that I'm creating early next year, so to say. And I see quite a few DIY fans in here. Awesome. Thanks, Elizabeth. Yeah, it's really helping me as well to get a grip of all that. Yeah. Let me see how I can develop that further. There's actually, in regard to this, if you're interested in those video titles, in the description I have linked, there is a section called video titles. I've linked a video from Salma Jaffrey. She inspired me to come up with recipes for writing video titles. What she did in this video is having 3 practical recipes to add urgency to your video titles. One example is, for example, you see it here, top 10 hype sneakers for fall winter 2021. So you have to watch it now. There's urgency, because if you're a sneaker collector, then you have to know what is coming up, so you know which sneakers to get in line for, because they are rare and they are limited and people collect them, and there's oftentimes a big run on sneakers. And if you are not early enough, then you don't get a pair and can't complete your collection with this fancy sneakers that you like. And for that reason, you need to watch it now, because I mean, it's already a little bit old. We already have winter 2021, but imagine it was late summer and you see this title here, then you have to watch it now and not later, because otherwise it might be too late and the sneakers are already sold, those limited sneakers. So this is one example that Salma has in her video. Again, it's the 3rd link in the description if you want to learn right now a little bit more what I am planning to also do with my series in the future. And all right, let's pick someone next here. Let me quickly wait to the lag a little bit. Jasper, A/B testing titles. Of course, I mean, it's a creative craft, yeah, and this takes practice. And for that reason, test as much as you can. Of course, if you really have to A/B test the titles for one particular video, it's up to you. I mean, it could make sense. Some really want to speed up their learning curve quite a lot, and that helps. But certainly do it in a creative way with every new upload that you do. Yeah, the more you practice that, the better. Because really, I have to say, video titles is such a big craft, as a skill. In Germany, as I said with other YouTube experts, I talked to death about video titles. In Germany, we found exactly one newspaper that really masters the skill of titles. In this case, of course, newspaper titles, but that's the same thing basically. Only one newspaper. And I didn't find an English newspaper yet that actually mastered this. All the other German newspapers that I checked, and I checked dozens and dozens, they don't understand the real craft there. And you would expect that, I mean, newspapers, they do it for a job, right? They could do it. Yeah. And this told me how much of a skill this is. It takes years to develop. So if you want to speed it up with A/B testing, feel free to do so. Diamond Edwards, you won the lottery, indeed. Perfect. So let's see what your channel is about. Let me quickly check that in my review tool. Chat. I have chosen someone for this review, but the next one, when I say again to say review in the chat, then you will be part of the list that my tool collects. And hopefully, fingers crossed, the luck is on your side. All right. I already see quite a number of new people here. Phytron Gaming, Prosper Comic, Almissa, how are you doing? Katzenpfote. We had another cat veterinarian in the beginning, for which I reviewed a video, optimized the metadata. So feel free later to spool back the replay and watch that review. That's probably highly relevant for you. Mohammed, how are you doing? Fun life. Am I Lofi? Affirmations. Awesome. Dexterto, George, and Slumberland. Welcome to the stream. Chat. This review tool that you see here, I can't give it out to all users. This is something that I just use for myself. But all the features that you have here are somehow in a more a powerful way part of the Morningfame tool itself. Yeah. So, for example, you have this doesn't show something about the thumbnail section here. For example, you have in the velocity tab there is a button at the top, for example, and you can check how they look in dark mode, light mode, stuff like this. All right. So, what is your channel about, Edwards? I think Edwards is your first name, or Diamond. All right. I think how to repay stuff. You must make this to payments. Child care, finances, wealth building, student loans. I see. So it's money management, right? And car insurance, like in proper use of your money. I see. Okay, perfect. Let's see. Which videos should we 2? 3 steps to combining finances after marriage and avoid divorce. Interesting topic. That's a good one. Car insurance coverage and save $100. Let's try this one. I like this one because this one is something that goes into the realm of ownership and possession. Yeah. So you want, it's a little bit of loss avoidance as well. You want your car to be properly insured, yeah. Because if it's not properly insured and you have a certain kind of damage, they don't pay. That's bad, right? And then on the other side, you have ownership position. You want to invest your money right into the right things. So it talks, there's quite a lot of human desires here that we have. And if I remember correctly, let me see. Car insurance coverage explained. There's the search term. You can clearly see that. That you are using this. Oh, this is not car insurance coverage. Let me see. This is car insurance coverage. I see explained doesn't seem to, with the explained at the end, doesn't seem to be a search term. So try to do it as short as you can. Let's see. It's still warning me, but companies compare coverage. No, yeah, this is still a search term. The manual checking that I just did there, if anyone wonders about this, search terms that get a red X are most likely not a valid search term, so you shouldn't use those. But when you click in the menu Learn More, I explain how to, when in doubt, check it manually and, so to say, override this decision and say like, no, Morningfame was a little bit too cautious. It is a proper search term after all. Anyway, this is what I just did with entering into the search bar. All right, this is still, it's tricky. It gives you a C for relevance. That's really not good. That would actually mean that you need to, it's a warning again, of course. You need to optimize it 100%. And even there, that this tip already says it to you. You should look for a different search term. What should we do here? It was car insurance. Okay. You used car insurance explained back then. It's sometimes, these very small search terms with little search volumes that appear and reappear and go back. It's a little bit tricky. It seems to have very little search volume only. So it's, sorry. We are not talking about this step in the SEO process, but it's really important to get right. And unfortunately that this went a little bit wrong. But let's assume that what was a proper search term, yeah? Let's just do that. Because this way we just learn properly from that. Anyway, you see you have a lot of freedom here. The B grade is quite low, so you can get creative with your title. The only thing is, of course, you have a good chance to rank, which we see at the relevance score can be very high, a green score. But you would rank for a search term that not many people are really using in search. So the views when you rank there don't come in so much. So that's the bad thing there. But let's do this just as a thought experiment here, so that you get the idea. The idea here is, of course, we ensure that SEO works properly. So in this case, we ensure that the relevance is good and you start ranking, although not many people search it. And then at the same time, you get a high click-through rate, with which you have the chance to get in YouTube's recommendations. So home and suggested videos and that. So car insurance. Which direction do you want to go? The avoidance loss or the ownership possession direction? Yeah. Ownership possession, is rather a thing where you say like, you get the best car insurance for as little money as possible. Yeah, kind of like this in this direction. The avoidance loss is like, don't save too much or otherwise you won't be properly insured anymore. So you have bad coverage, bad insurance. Yeah. And obviously you say like save $1,000 is more than the direction of you get the best insurance for as little money as possible. So let's double down on that. What I would do here is, first of all, we explained it's difficult to get into the title. Yeah. I just expected this already. To write a creative video title with explained in there is tricky because I had such a situation in my case already in the past. So let's say we put that into the description here. So I explained in this video which car insurance has the best coverage for your money, for as little money as possible or something like that. Yeah. So what we have here is all the terms in the description. We don't have all the terms in here anymore. So the description is boosting the title score. And you see, we still get a good relevance score. Again, everyone who wants to learn those new rules with the boosting in particular, which is something that we never heard before actually. But, you know, I reverse engineered the search algorithm and found out it behaves this way. I didn't invent this boost. I found out that the search algorithm behaves this way. The first link in the description is a tutorial where I explain these rules in detail. But in this case, we used this option to move this explained word into the description and freed up some space for our creativity in the title. And as I said, like, save $1,000. Yeah, start with the Mr. Beast does it all the time as well. Start with the money. Yeah, the first words we read first. Obviously, start with what we read first. Save 1,000. For car insurance and invest back into premium coverage. Maybe something like that. Yeah. I don't know if I really, it's too convoluted still. Yeah. I don't like how it turned out. But the idea is, I want to convey, you save $1,000 in a regular car insurance, and then you take maybe $500, and then with that get to the highest level of car insurance that you can ever get. Yeah. So you save money, but you also you can use that saved money to get premium coverage, stuff like this. You know. Maybe that's an idea. How car insurance works. How car insurance works would be one that you could use here. Yeah. I mean, we could play around here quite a lot, but I have to get to more reviews here. People are waiting, right? So then we had the other part, right? The how car insurance works. How car insurance works is a search term that is proper for you. I see. Yes, it is. Yeah, indeed. You could use that and use the same rules to write a proper video title here and stuff like this. So save $1,000 in charges. And upgrade to premium coverage. Something like that. Yeah. So that you get more for less. Some stuff like this. Yeah. I hope you get the idea. Yeah. So this is kind of the understanding what people are looking for. Yeah. The desire, ownership, possession. They want to squeeze out as much as they can. The idea is that they are currently in the market to buy a car insurance, either a new one or they want to switch, and they wonder which one. Yeah. So this this kind of talks to that. I imagine if you are looking for car insurance, you on one hand want to save money, but on the other hand, you don't want to compromise on the coverage. So somehow this speaks to that. Yeah. And I think, yeah, I hope that helps. All right. Without further ado, let me know in the comments, say review, and I will pick the next person to pick from. The video explains how car insurance work in the US. Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of it's quite intransparent, I would say. When I compare it to Germany, we were really unsure when we tried to insure our car, which one was actually a good choice. All right. Hi Mario, how you doing? Zanet Design. Zane, right? Your first name? Yuki Revolution. How you doing? We had such a great comment recently, I remember. Anyway, Creadores, how you doing? Mike's Office, how you doing? All right, so you also have the chance now to get a review. I reoptimize your videos. Marcelo, grüß dich. And I pick one of those. Yeah, questions in the meantime. Let's see. UK Revolution. Did we have something music related before already? Let's see. Maybe your the luck is on your side now. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's pick one person then from the chat. Here we go. These are everyone, and let's go. Drum roll. Okay. Marcelo, it's your turn. Well, that was the wrong click. Let me quickly open up your channel. And then let's see which video we are reviewing for you. So again, everything that I explain here is something that I will be explaining in detail in the next video that I'm publishing. Really the idea of having SEO and at the same time a high click-through rate for YouTube recommendations, home and suggested. It's really the first time we can combine both. There was always a clashing in the title. Yeah, the requirements for the video title were too strict before with the old SEO best practices to really make something really engaging, highly click-through worthy, that we can trigger all the three algorithms on YouTube. With the new rules, that's what we are trying to do now with the improved titles. It becomes possible much more easily. All right. And here, UK Revolution, you're also in luck. We have a music channel here. Interesting, Marcelo. Is this the MK? Akai MK. Yeah. Drum machine. Interesting. Okay. I happen to know this one. I'm a huge synthesizer fan. So you're talking about this drum machine. For everyone else who doesn't know it, it's digital music production. You don't have a drum set like a metal band, of course, has. It's more like the virtual drum set that hip hop and other electronic music genres use. And yeah, you have a different style of what beat you do, how to mix, all that stuff to do that as well. Is Marlon still in the room? I think you're interested in that as well. How are you doing, Marco? Welcome to the stream. So let's see, which video can we use? MPC1. That's the drum machine we see here. From loop to song without adding notes. In-depth tutorial. MPC1, how to make great sounding hi-hat rolls. Hi-hat rolls. That's interesting. These are important to get right. So let's try this one. Let's see, how to make great sounding hi-hat rolls. What search term did you opt? Hi-hat rolls MPC, I see. Hi-hat rolls MPC, hi-hat rolls MPC. So yeah, looks good. And also looks good. Is this one is so little competition that you actually could aim higher. Yeah. Listed fit, half an hour maybe. You could go for more competitive search terms. Maybe another search term at the same time. I don't want to make it too complicated for me today, since it's channels that I don't know of. To optimize for 2 search terms at the same time. You can play around with that as well. The previous live stream that I did, if you check my live streams, there I actually did that for one of my videos. Optimize for 2 search terms at the same time. This creativity, this freedom gives you the opportunity to add more words to your title, and then you combine the words of 2 search terms. Anyway, you could use it there, but let's not focus on that today. I just want to mention this one has very little competition, and hence you could aim for more competitive ones. But the good thing is, with little competition, oftentimes comes a lot of freedom and relevance. So as we see here, this is record low from the lowest that we saw in the whole stream today. What it makes, we have the opportunity now to take a few words like MPC, for example, and put them into the description. Yeah, MPC mastery of hi-hat sounds like rolls, interleave, anyway, and so on. Yeah, different techniques, maybe stuff like this. So you can boost it, and then you don't have to do so much with the title anymore. So the more you can move to the description in those cases, the better, the more freedom you have here. Now, in this case, it's of course a question of, oh, you know what? The point is this. It's very important for the click-through rate that people know, is this the right video for me? And MPC, yeah, telling you're using the MPC drum machine here is important, because they want tutorials for the machine that they own themselves, that they use themselves to program their beats. And you already show the machine in the thumbnail. So you don't have to mention it in the title anymore, because people know this is a video about the MPC. So you can drop MPC in the title, get more freedom with your video title. We use this creativity space now shortly, yeah. But of course, you need to include MPC in your description and optimize it for the machine, because the search algorithm does not know that there is an AKA MPC machine visible in the thumbnail. I mean, they could in theory know that from the thumbnail as well, but I certainly wouldn't bet on that. 99% sure that they don't know that you show an MPC machine on your thumbnail. But your viewer certainly recognized the machine. I mean, I recognized it as well, and I never even owned one before. I just know of it. So you put the MPC in the description, use the boost, and if we see it's more than enough. And do it really creatively. Yeah, what we do here is we play into empowerment of creativity of feedback. That's all the creative endeavors, right? You want to upgrade your skills. It's compared to development and accomplishment, a different thing. If you need to get something done, yeah. For example, if you I don't know, if you create a beat and you want to upload it to SoundCloud, for example, yeah, you need to upload it to SoundCloud, and you might do a tutorial where you explain how to do this. There's development and accomplishment. You need to figure out how to upload it to SoundCloud. Let's assume someone is searching for a video and they just don't know how to do it in the first place. They don't even own a SoundCloud account, so they need a step-by-step tutorial. Yeah, they need it. So their human desire is to accomplish uploading their beat to SoundCloud. But what you do with the hi-hat rolls is something that they don't necessarily need. Yeah, they might never use hi-hat rolls in their beats, but they still, in the chance or with their experimentation, might want to see whether can they easily do this? Can they maybe in the future include it somewhere? Yeah, just to have it in their arsenal of skills as a music producer to also do hi-hat rolls, because you oftentimes hear them in popular songs, right? So it's good to have the skill to do them as well. Maybe if you do it for business, suddenly a client asks you to include that, and then it would be bad if you say like, I don't know how to do that, right? Let's just assume that. So you upgrade your skills. So empowerment of creativity. You could, if you wanted, to do a hi-hat roll as well. So let's double down on that. Signal that to the viewer that you have the right video for them to fulfill that desire to get a better MPC user, so to say. So set your hi-hat like this, and it rolls from your tongue. I don't know if this saying is appropriate here or if it's just a bad joke. And it rolls. How can a hi-hat roll? Is it like an adjective? Rolls. Like Quicksilver. Quicksilver. Yeah, you're right, autocomplete. I wanted to say that. Yeah, this runny metal, that's of course very toxic, but something like that, yeah? Set your hi-hat like this and it rolls like Quicksilver. I don't know if that makes sense, yeah? But you get the idea of the kind of creativity you do there. Like, this is kind of, it's not just any hi-hat roll. It's a special hi-hat roll that feels like, like if you listen to a beat like this, like you really you get a little bit of a emotional explosion in your head if you hear like the smooth rolling of the hi-hat. And I somehow wanted to explain it with no, not back. With, does it roll like Quicksilver? I don't know. What would you say? But you get the idea, right? So this feeling that listeners get if you program it like this. Yeah, or this is hi-hat rolls. It rolls battery. I don't know. Your hi-hat on steroids. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Too little. What words I could use in this case? Yeah, what are the words that you use in your music genre? Yeah, how you describe those sounds, stuff like this. But it's really telling people. It's not just a tutorial about hi-hat rolls. It's also getting the hi-hat rolls sound truly amazing. Yeah, and then with a little bit of flowery language, you put that into your title. And that makes people who watch it empowered in their creativity to create better beats, yeah, on their MPC. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. I would say let's quickly go over to the next review. Everyone who wants one, let me know in the chat, review, and I will pick one of you randomly. In the meantime, let's see. What do you do when your target term is so competitive and relevance is an A, but everything else is E or F? Elizabeth, great question. When you are here in this third step, you want to find DDBDB grades or better. This is, by the way, too good. You can aim higher here, but this is very little competition. Anyway, but I understand it. This situation comes up quite a lot. First of all, click this link here. I explained many techniques that makes it really much easier for you to find less competitive search terms. If you get a green grade B or A here for relevance and these other 3 grades have no Fs in them, you might ignore a few E grades. Yeah, so that would be a plan B that you can do. If you have any F grades, stay away. Then you certainly have to use these techniques to find alternative search terms. And ideally try to get to DDDB grades or better. Yeah, that's the overall story. All right. Let's see. Do we have it here? Okay. Here, everyone. So let's do drum roll. Who is it? Nazifa, in your case, if you're seeing for the first grade not subscribers but channel views, that means that you have hidden your subscriber count publicly, and Morningfame can also not see your subscriber count. And all it does here is to replace the first grade by channel views as a replacement, so to say. It's doing the same thing, work with those grades the same way as you would even otherwise. Okay, advanced English. Advanced English with Mary. All right. You are in luck. So let me load you up. Another. Jesper, you had to ask it, right? After you asked about A/B testing titles. Actually, I am considering to create in the far future an A/B testing tool. Let me see. There might be some developments that will start allowing me to do so. Yeah, it's not possible right now, but it might be in the future. And I'm thinking about maybe it is possible and it is worth doing so, because apparently YouTube seems to not publish their own A/B testing tool. Of course, once they do that, it will be so much better than any third-party tool could create. But since they apparently, I don't know, they seem to not publish it after all. So maybe I can jump in and do it myself. But yeah, you can easily do it manually, by the way. It's even better. You know, A/B testing tools replace the title or the thumbnail every day usually. This is actually too short of a time. What would be better would be that you have the video run with one title and thumbnail for a week, and then replace it and wait another week. So you give each set of metadata enough time to really grow. Yeah, it takes time until the algorithms kick in, so you don't have to replace that often, and feel free to do that manually. Anyway, but I'm thinking about innovating there a little bit and providing something. Anyway, all right, Daphne, Mary, I mean, it's your turn. Okay, let's see. Your channel is obviously about learning to speak English. Awesome. By the way, how big is your channel? 1,000 subscribers. That's interesting, because the 1,000 subscriber mark is actually the point where you can start considering to trigger home and suggested as well. For small channels, it's usually the case that you have to focus on SEO only, because you don't have this active audience yet. You start with zero, obviously, right? And the YouTube recommendations need an active audience in order to work, to start working. And at 1,000 subscribers, you probably have 100, when you're doing well, 100 active subscribers. There's in the Velocity tab of the Morningfame tool, there's an estimate for that, in case you are interested and have Morningfame. This active audience allows you to trigger home and suggested to a little extent. Yeah, it takes longer to really kicking heavily, but to a little extent it's already possible. So it is the right time now to think about video titles that drive up the click-through rate. Yeah, and that's what we are doing today, because that's really a critical element in order to make the recommendations work. 5 English habits to practice every day to improve English fluency and communication skills. It's very well readable already. I have to say a little bit long. Yeah, there's high risk that it will be abbreviated when you see it on YouTube. At some point, it has 2 lines and then you get a ... and don't see the rest anymore. Be a little bit careful about that. Real English conversations about American holiday Thanksgiving. This one is a good one. I think I have an idea. Let's do this one. All right. So, undo. I accidentally closed the tab. Here we go. Real English conversation. Real English conversation is one search term. American holidays, Thanksgiving. Real English. Let's see. English conversation. Thanksgiving holiday. This is something that people search for. The tool is a little bit it's still good enough. So ignore the red X here. This is a good search term. You could rank here. Let me see if you by any chance do rank already. Oh yeah, you already rank here. Let's just use this search term. I mean, we are not focusing too much on this step, even though it's also critical here. But for that, I actually have another live stream where, let's see, for that, YouTube Morningfame, another, taking too long. I have another live stream where I'm explaining that, but anyway. So English conversation holiday. Yeah, that's the search term where you already rank. And let's try to make it a little bit more creative. Just a second. Here we get your title. So what is this? What can you do here? Yeah. So I see, of course, you included many search terms in here. Advanced English, yeah, real English. By the way, little things that you can improve is, oh, it's a little bug here. What you can improve here is English is shown twice. That's really not necessary. It makes your relevance actually a little bit worse. So advanced, just say advanced, for example. If you compare it, 76%, 77%. So you get a little bit higher here. And you are really close to the B grade where you want to be at. So optimizing here a little bit is better. By the way, be careful about these emojis. Of course, add them, yeah, if you think that this will improve stuff. But add a space here. Otherwise, the recommendation system, YouTube search algorithm, will not recognize Thanksgiving as a search word here. It sees Thanksgiving emoji as a word and does not match Thanksgiving with your Thanksgiving in the title. That's tricky. But of course, then the result is that you get a lower relevance score because these emojis are counted as a word. This way it makes technically your title a little bit longer. It's really details here. But anyway, real English conversation about American holiday Thanksgiving. American holiday. Is it really necessary to mention that? That if you hear about Thanksgiving, this is a holiday. Unless, of course, you try to optimize for some search term that includes holiday. And I just realized we do so. Then you couldn't omit this. Yeah. You see the relevance goes down to 27% and oh. Okay, here we go. So undo I wanted to do. So you have to keep it in there because you don't have enough freedom here to move it to the description. Yeah. Let's say we take the search term, somehow include it in the description. We can try it out real quick. Yeah. You can't get up to this level anymore with the description boost. So we don't have the option to remove it there. We have to include it in here. So we can try to do it a little bit differently. Think about the viewer in this case. In what kind of mindset could they be? Imagine they are invited for Thanksgiving, maybe at the parents' house of their spouse, yeah, and they don't feel very comfortable with the other family yet because they saw them once or something like that, so they have to make the best possible impression, and they don't want to screw up this gathering because their English is not good. Let's imagine that, yeah. So this is kind of in the direction of avoidance and loss. They want to avoid to be embarrassed, yeah, with their English, for example. Yeah, or for example, they want to relate to that family. Let's imagine it's a couple where one person is obviously from America and the other person is from overseas, and they are not very acquainted with the, the habits and the culture and how they should behave there or stuff like this. So they want to feel more related to this family. This is more learn the things that the etiquette, yeah, in this gathering and stuff like this. So this goes in those two directions. So let's speak about that, yeah, explicitly. Are you invited for Thanksgiving? Yeah. This is how your English conversation succeeds. Yeah. I could use better words like will be fun. I don't know. Yeah. I forgot the word holiday. Oh, this is tricky. Are you invited? Are you invited for Thanksgiving? This is how don't yeah, I'm maybe I'm also not very creative because I'm a foreign speaker. Don't screw up. Bad word here. But anyway, don't screw up your holiday with bad English conversation. And this got too long. Feel at ease with dinner table conversation during Thanksgiving. This is also a good idea. Elizabeth, you rescue me. You save me. Feel at ease. Now is English holiday. Feel at ease with holiday. Thanksgiving holiday. Feel with let's just do this, for example. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I like that. Feel at ease with English conversation. The grammar is not good yet. I have to mold it a little bit still. Yeah. Feel at ease with English conversation during Thanksgiving holiday. Yeah, that plays into this. Feel at ease, if you are indeed invited to other people and you, if you are not an English speaker, chances are you don't know much about Thanksgiving yet. And getting invited to Thanksgiving is a big deal. I mean, it certainly was for me when I got invited for the first time to Thanksgiving. It's not a practice we have here in our culture. So this kind of, you are a little bit wary about what will happen, what will we do, what we'll be talking about, stuff like this. Yeah. So this feel at ease is speaking to that. Yeah, assuming that people are in this mindset. Yeah, and I think this it's fair to say here. Yeah, I hope that helped a little bit. Mary, this don't feel bad if that is difficult for you to come up with these titles. I mean, you see, there are many more better titles out there. I'm kind of losing my brain power now after such a long stream already. I think we are reaching 3 hours now. There's room for improvement still here, I would say. Yeah, it's not the most catchy title, although I really like it, and it's really well understood, like attaching to the mindset that the viewer has, like speaking to what they are currently in, the situation. But this is really a craft that takes time to learn, and I hope this one here, everyone, feel free to take a screenshot. I will further develop this idea here. By the way, this blog article that I linked in here at the bottom, when you do a screenshot, I think this text is still readable. I will do a whole series about this, explaining that further. This is basically the first version, but what we need to do is to speak to these human desires, that epic meaning and calling, for example. We didn't have that today, but tricking scammers to donate to charity Team C's. I mean, this is the Robin Hood thing, the pure Robin Hood idea, right? Scammers who otherwise take the money from us get scammed and do something good for once. It's like there's so much in there. And of course, avoidance and loss, like everything that is about Corona nowadays, for example, stuff like this. And in your case, it was avoidance and loss. I tried a little bit, but there's relatedness, to learn about the culture and all that stuff, so that you are in a culture setting that you are about to be in, this Thanksgiving dinner. Learn more about that, be prepared for that, so that you can have a great time. So this is a great starting point to understand what the titles have to really do. And at the same time, these new YouTube SEO rules that all become active when you turn on the version 2021 here in Morningfame, then you get more freedom to write those creative titles. Oh, unfortunately, we slipped a little bit under the B grade here. We want to go to B grade here, but that's still kind of okay. I mean, you see how close it is. You get more freedom to just take your search term. Usually we had like the search term and maybe something in the end, but that's it. But here now we sprinkled those words into the term like in complete freedom. We didn't have to obey strict rules anymore. So we can use these ideas how to write really enticing titles now and still fulfill our SEO requirement. And that's really something that opens up options for us. Until now, we really didn't have that. It was either YouTube SEO with the strict rules, or either YouTube SEO with the strict rules, or doing enticing titles like the big channels do, that don't use SEO anymore at all. I mean, the big channels, they get enough views from home and suggested. They don't have to worry about YouTube search anymore. Of course, they could earn additional views there, but if they already get enough elsewhere, why should they limit themselves to strict SEO rules that we had until now? But with the new version, by the way, again, the first link in the description, I explain those new rules in details and complete there. It's just 15 minutes and you learn all of it at once. These new rules allow us to have stricter limitations and do everything at the same time, SEO and the high click-through rate with the titles in particular. because we have this new freedom. And this new freedom is something that I will explain in detail, just what I outlined here right now. Not explained it very good, I have to say. Will explain in my next regularly uploaded video. I really look forward to that. It's 1 year in the making, basically, to really drive home this end of the battle between YouTube SEO and YouTube recommendations growth strategies. We can do both together now. All right. Do you have any questions? Otherwise, I would end the stream. Muliat, if you still hear that, good night, and I hope you learned quite a lot. Hopefully the luck wheel is on your side next time. And premieres, talk about premieres. I can't really say much about premieres. It's like a regularly uploaded video. You have this additional interaction, of course, which is a great thing for the viewer experience who are joining in there. Yeah, certainly. So for the viewer, it's a different beast and much more fun. So from the human psychology, you understand what you do different there. From a technical standpoint, you can see them as regularly uploaded videos. SEO, same thing. Everything else, same thing. What we discussed today, same thing. Yeah, it's basically what I can say. Awesome, Muliat. Great, you heard it. Soap School archetypes somehow rings a bell. Can you say a little bit more about that? Simple home remedies, yeah, sorry, no, I don't have it. Great to see a few join in here. Comic-Con news at Shane. Music Mindset, by the way, we just had someone who has a drum machine and does tutorials on there. Feel free to spool back the replay. It's probably something that's highly relevant to you. But I would say archetypes, Soap School, feel free to send me a comment on some video or send me an email. Just reply to any Morningfame email. You know how to reach me, of course. That would be interesting. Somehow rings a bell. Maybe you can refresh my remind me a little bit more about that, because maybe you can do something about these video title strategies there. But I'm still in the development there to see how we can, really develop recipes of writing video titles for different purposes, different types of videos, and so on. Bangkoks and more. Danke, vielen Dank. All right. Then, I would say this was really great. Fun talking to you. I hope you learned quite a lot. Again, my next regularly uploaded video will talk more in detail about those video titles. I really look forward to that one. And if you have any questions, you know how to reach me. Comment under my videos, Morningfame emails, responses, reach me all the time as well. Twitter, whatever. I'm happy to discuss anything further. And have a great evening, or I think most of you have evenings. Yeah, those that have a morning yet are probably asleep and don't watch the stream. All right. Cheers, my friends.